Okay, hello, this is Taxi Deck Breakdown for nil. I went 7-2 at the LCQ this last Friday, and then I went 5-5 at Regionals. I didn't change any cards in between, so I figured I'd just make this deck list. I actually did not expect to be making this video, because okay, little story, I didn't know that LCQ was last weekend. I thought it was next weekend, and I submitted my deck list, like, within an hour of you submitting your deck list, and I just was like, well, I hope these cards are good enough, because this is what I was testing. I went on, like, huge win streaks on Sim and stuff, so yeah, I mean, it just kept winning in my experience, and so yeah, we'll just talk about it. First off, we have 4 0 costs. My deck plays a lot of bricks, as most NL lists do, and this is the best trigger in the game. So yeah, you play 4. If you don't play 4, you're wrong. As for the second best trigger in the game, that your deck also gets access to, beige. I mean, just a standard 2K wins you games. Next 2K, we have Zeus. I know a lot of people say that they don't play this card out very often, which is why I cut it to 3, is because I didn't play it out that often, and I needed space, but I play this card out actually a metric shit ton. I play this card out so much. It's just like a 2-don, kill something, you can then Katakuri it into your life, so now you have guaranteed 2k in your life that you can heal. Like, I play this card out more than probably most people, and this won me like 2 different games in LCQ. My LCQ was crazy. That run was nuts, man. I didn't play a single Rayleigh. I play 1 Charlotte Flampe. This is mainly for the mirror, and just to have it, it gives me an option. You could just play 4 of these, but I liked having the option of keeping this Flampe to play it. You could replace this, spoiler, this is the last 2K I play. You can play other things, but I think all the other 2Ks right now just are very low value. Like, X-Drake is really popular, but all the things that you're resting, you'd rather just KO it while developing a body, and then, like, you don't want to play out the 2K that does nothing, which is what X-Drake does. What other 2Ks do people play? I don't know. I literally don't even know what other people play, because I was just focused on my testing. I would just... You could either do this, or yeah, I don't know. Now, going into the mid-game. This is a meta call that I made last second. I was playing Kikinojo in this spot. Purely, this is for Shanks and UP Luffy. And I was playing Kikinojo for Shanks and UP Luffy. But... And the mirror, technically, because the mirror just turns into who can aggro the other person down. But... yeah, I didn't play any mirrors in the LCQ either. I played 1 at Nats. I got fucking fried. I'm not gonna lie, guys. They saw double Kikinojo trigger and like in their top 2 life, and they absolutely pwned me. I could never catch up after that. But yeah, this is just for blue, purple, and Shanks and the mirror. You want to see this on curve against all of these decks, and you just want to swing and swing and swing and swing and swing. You can't starve any of those decks, because I am playing a semi-starve list, which we will see by the fact that I am playing 4 Kuzan. This allows you to starve, because if you don't run this card, then decks like Zoro, Bonnie, I mean, I played a lot of green, so Zoro and Bonnie, and I only lost to one of them, which was my only loss in LCQ. I went 7-1. I was 4 minutes late, so they made me take a round 1 loss. 4 minutes late, I got there at 9:04, whatever. It was technically my fault. It was in the Tixer receipt, guys. My bad. There's like 100 other people that were late too. But anyways, it lets you starve all those decks, and then this is like the best card in the matchup other than Yamato versus Rayleigh. Making Rayleigh forcefully run out of gas while also removing a very important card. Usually the 3-cost Sanji is what you want to hit, but you also can hit the Boa, and you can hit everything in his deck other than the 4-cost Luffy, but you would want to preferably swing into everything else and then hit the Sanji. I mean, it's hard to lose that matchup anyways. You can almost never lose. Especially because of this guy. Also lets you starve. Best card when you're starving people. This just hits everything, even when they're non-pumped. Oh, and the reason why you have to play this against decks like Zoro and stuff is because otherwise you won't have enough cards to be able to put away them up to 7 or 8 life, which is your win condition, to either pop 8-cost Mihawk or 9-cost Zoro. And if you don't have this, then you can never get that high, because you're just Katakuriing and praying, and it's way too slow. So there's no point in starving. If you're playing any semblance of starve, you should always run Kuzan. You could cut it to 3, but it's so important, and I literally wanted to see it every single game into every single matchup other than Blue Purple Luffy and Shanks, that I think you have to. And honestly, with my list, if you see this on curve, if you see 2 of these on curve, like you go second on 4 and 6, and they play 2 searchers, you actually can starve Shanks, because then you can Katakuri all their other stuff, and then just try and pop their 10 costs. They can play around it. The ball's in their court. If they're like a really good player, it'll never happen, but it gives you a chance. Now, if we get to the rest of the mid-game, I'm just going to talk about these both together because they basically do the same thing. I am running 0 Kumas. I don't have a single Kuma in my deck. It's not that I don't have any, it's that I didn't want to play him, because the more I was testing, I hated discarding the card to heal a life, because people will leave you at 2 until their board is wide enough anyways, unless they're a deck that has to aggro you down, and you win all those matchups anyways without Kuma. So these only exist, well, this is a blocker. You could run the Sabo in this spot, but this was just more consistent, in my opinion, because you don't always want to have to take the life in every situation, but this is just always live after, like, even on curve, this is live most of the time, because you can just take 2 5s if it's in your starting hand and you know you need to cycle. These are just letting you look for your top bombs, which I run a lot of. Very, very greedy list. But with this mid-game, it never felt bad. Like, I never missed Kuma outside of that mirror where I got double Kikunojo triggered on, because he played Kuma on curve, and, like, I just got completely destroyed. That's the only game in the entire tournament that I missed having Kuma, was the mirror. Other than that, these just help you cycle into your big bombs, or into your counter, or into your removal, into your anything. This is an amazing trigger, cycles your hand a bunch. Trigger didn't come up. I used it. I triggered it a decent amount, but it didn't truly matter. There's one game where I needed 1k counter, and I triggered this, and I drew into 3 bricks. It was hilarious, and yeah, at Nats, yeah, that's how I lost one of my games. It was very, very, very unlucky. Made me very sad. But yeah, this is nice, and they're both 1k counters. Kuma's also a 1k counter, yes, and people see Kuma as like a draw 1, trash 1, basically, and it's like a super draw 1 because it's going into life, but they can starve that away from you, so it can just be a trash 1, draw 1 in 4 turns, and that's not good enough for me. I really don't like it in this deck. Every other yellow deck in the game, people still want to hit you because they can kill you. They can't kill you if you're an L. And as long as you don't die before your 9-drop turn, or 8-drop turn, you would rather just play a bomb than play out Kuma. Because you have no counter events that, like, you actively want to leave Dawn open for. Next card, I'm running 2 Kid. I hate this card. I hate that I have to play it, and I hate that the only change to this entire deck is I would go down 1 ace, which we'll see later, and I would go up one of these, because I played 2 UP Luffys at LCQ, and I beat both of them. Miracle that I qualified. I cannot believe I qualified. Actual miracle, and this card, along with Hawkins, is the only reason that the matchup is not an auto scoop. So I would go up one more of these. Unfortunately, I hate that I have to. But yeah, Kid, everybody knows what Kid does. Next, get the pretty ones up front. Katakuri, one of the best bombs ever printed. I mean, like, put away a Mihawk, 8-cost Mihawk, develop an 8-cost, like, it enables Starve even more. It enables literally everything. This card is OP. You don't need me to tell you that. Yamato, same thing. Capitalizes off your stuffed life, because 1, 2, stuff life. We'll get to one more thing that stuffs life. But yeah, and it heals you 1. It's just an on-demand heal. this is, like, really nice because it's, unlike Kuma, which is a trash one, draw one, this is just a draw one. This is just a free life. Like, you don't have to discard a card for it. And the more I was thinking about, like, what made Enel so good, like, in OP09, other than Raigo, was the fact that I always had a million cards in hand, and I was wondering, why do I not have the cards in hand that I used to have? And it's because all of these effects are draw one, trash one, draw one, trash one, draw one, trash one. And it's like, well, not draw one, trash one, heal one, trash one, heal one, trash one, heal one, when used to it's just like, this is just straight heal. 10 cost ace is just straight heal. You get to keep all those cards in your hand, which is why, for this tournament, I'm on 3 ace. And this came up so often, having the 3rd ace. It was so nice, man. I know I said that I would go down a kid for an ace, but that's just because I think you have to. I don't know what else you can go down. You can go down maybe one Shirahoshi, but if you're going down a Shirahoshi, I would probably just cut it completely and play something else as a one of. Or maybe bump one of your ratios up, like you can maybe play 2 of these or 3 of these. 3 of these. I'd probably do like this if I were to do that, which is not bad. I just liked the consistency tool of being able to play this on curve, draw 3 trash 2, and just fix my hand, which is why I went with the ratios that I did. But in hindsight, I'd probably go +1/+1. I really would. I would want to keep this 3rd ace, man. It felt so good. It felt so good. The last bomb, yeah, you play 4. I don't need to talk about it. You play 4. It's the best card in your entire deck. It makes the deck tick. I'm going to move this over here so we have a little bit of space. And then we have 4 cards. MVP of the entire tournament, Hino Birds Up. This trigger came up literally almost every game. I played it out literally almost every game. 2-Don Gadatsu effect is so OP because even if you're not starving, if like a Zoro player just plays out a Kyoshiro or something, you can pop this and it's an even Dawn trade, and then you can keep the aggression going if you're choosing to aggro them down. Zoro is a matchup where you're allowed to aggro them down or you're allowed to super starve them. It kind of is just your read on how they play the first 3 turns, if you can starve them or not, and also based on your first hand. Like, if I have a bunch of these and like these, then I'm just going to kill him, because he can't swing into this, because he already has no counter as is. So, like, yeah. But, like, if I have all my starve tools, then I'll just, like, super bloat his life. And even if he plays 9-cost Zoro, he would basically have to see it in his starting hand and then just pass the entire game, but that's like where the skill of having, you know, at that point you know that that's what he's doing, so you just start swinging and then you just race him because he's not playing any real bodies, and because he can't, because if he did then he would lose. And then the last card, Ultramarine. A lot of people cut this card. This trigger literally won me a game against a Bonnie player because it let me put away their Tashigi, so next turn I could play Gadatsu on curve, kill their Cavendish, and it like solo won me the entire game because I had tempo for the rest of the match. This card didn't come up that much though outside of that in the that happened in the LCQ. But I did play this out like 3 times, and all 3 times people read the card, or like when I trashed it to like Shirahoshi or something, if it was a matchup I wasn't starving, they all read the card, which is kind of funny. It was like something nobody was playing around, and just caught people off guard. And yeah, so this is the 50, the KUMA-LESS 50. I know a lot of people will probably look at this and be like, okay, but if you just like replace like this, if you just do this and then these 3 are Kumas, your deck list is better, and I just disagree. I tested it a lot, and it just this felt better than that version that played Kuma. I think Kuma's a broken card. If you want to play Kuma, there's a million and one lists out there that have Kuma, but if anybody wants to play a budget NL list while he's still playable, because guys, this deck is deader than dirt and OP13, then just play this, man. Like, I think this has a very high skill cap. I think there's a lot of decision making because you are allowed to play aggro and you are allowed to play starve. And both modes are very, 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 very viable and strong. Because most hybrid lists I see, like, you can tell that they either want to play one way or the other, and they're sacrificing a lot of strength from not just committing to one way or the other. But this lets me have a pretty good matchup spread into basically everything. Like, slightly even, slightly losing, slightly winning. This is like a Shanks list where you can kind of just go even against everything, and if you play better than your opponent, or your opponent doesn't like high roll the shit out of you, then you can like just win. Which is why I went 7-1 in the LCQ. That's probably the best tournament I've ever played in my life, like skill wise. I definitely played worse in Nats, but I also got very unlucky in Nats. Like my first 2 rounds, round 1 was against a Shanks that played out perfect curve going second. He won the die roll into double 10 cost Shanks, and I didn't see any of my 10-0s, which is like the most needed card because he can't get popped by bomb Shanks on curve, and I had to play Yamato or Kid, I can't remember. I played one of these and it just got popped, and like my tempo's screwed, you know, like especially because he also been Beckman Magadai, like he literally had everything on curve. So it's like, yeah, I just lost that, and then round 2 was that BS and Elmir where he double trigger Kikanojo and just absolutely swept me. Round 3, I played against a Zoro, wasn't even close. Round 4, I played against a UP Luffy that one die roll went first, triple ramp into double Sanji. Like, I literally got high rolled on in my first 3 losses, and it felt so bad, but I just stuck it out since I was already there. And, ended up going 5-5. I don't really remember the rest of my rounds. I think I played Bonnie after that and I won. Then I played Zoro after that and I won. Then I played another UP and I lost. I team killed. I played one Rayleigh the entire weekend. It was round 10, last round, and it was the only other guy from my little LGS that I go to playing Rayleigh. It was the only Rayleigh I played against all weekends, and I had to team kill him. It was so funny. It was so sad. But, yeah. I'll probably put a timestamp about right here. Y'all, if you want to click off the video, you can right now. This is just going to be me talking a little bit about the future. I'll just pick up all my cards while I talk so people know that they can leave if they want. So, basically what I'm looking to do in the future is try and post more consistently. Oh, hit my camera. But I'm not sure what people want to see. Like, I don't know if people liked my old local VODs, because those were very untime committal. Like, I just recorded them when I went to my locals and I would just upload them. I don't know if people would rather see those or if they'd rather see like sim gameplay, deck testing, because I can try a lot more lists, a lot more deck testing when I'm doing that kind of stuff. So if you, in the comments, if y'all want to like tell me what y'all want to see, I'm down for that. I'm also thinking about making more heavily edited videos, just more like trying to like make real content. I kind of stopped doing the local VODs just because, well, a couple of reasons. One, I've been really busy, so I haven't been going to locals, and 2, I thought it was just really lazy content that nobody really wanted to watch. But I know some people like to put them in the background, go to sleep and stuff. But yeah. So just let me know what y'all want to see. Also, yellow, it might be over, yellow bros. This color might be cooked. So, in the future, I'm probably going to be playing meta, just because this tournament really opened my eyes that I can play, like, good One Piece. Like, especially LCQ. I think I played out of my mind. Like, probably the single greatest gameplay, skill-wise, that I have ever had in this entire game. I played out of my mind. Like, and I rarely gas myself up like this. Like, it proved to me, like, wait, I'm actually, like, not, like, I am good at this game. Like, I can hang with the best. Like, I lost one game all LCQ day. Like, I just ran everybody's pockets. And then in Nationals, like I said, I was getting high rolled on, like, in my first 3 losses. Even then, and then after that, like, in my losses after, I, like, vaguely remember, I kind of forgot what happened, but I think out of 4 of 5 of my games, that I lost, the entire time I was just kind of thinking, like after the game, because during the game I was trying to win, but after the game I was just like, man, I'm just getting tier list diffed. Like, if I played a better deck, I think I could beat the opponents that I was playing against. So going into OP13, I'm probably going to be playing either Ace or Emu. Probably Ace. Just keeping it a $150. I really think that I could do something playing a real deck. Not that Anel's not real, and I know an Anel made top 16 at Nationals, but you do need a little bit of luck. And his deck was very casino-esque. This deck was aimed to be as least casino-esque as possible because I think is inconsistent. Like, the Shirahoshis, the Blocker Sabas, like, it was all in there for consistency reasons. The 3 Ace is in there for consistency reasons. I wanted to be as consistent as possible and not be one of those NL players that is just casino decking, because I think that doesn't say, like, it leaves less room for skill expression just to be like, okay, trigger Kikinojo, oh, trigger Beige, like, trigger. It's like, okay, dude, you just, like, casinoed out in one. So it's like, I want a deck that does that even less, which is Ace, I think. I think I want to play either Ace or Emu. So, yeah. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. If anybody knows any good yellow decks in the future, going into EB03, or PRBO2, I mean, PRBO2, and then OP13, let me know. I'd love to play them. I'm actually taking Purple Yellow Robin to a store championship to try and just get my Nats invite, and I'm very serious because my inside info tells me that that entire local is half Zoro, green Zoro, and half Anel, so yellow beats Zoro, so I was like, what is the best yellow deck into Anel? Which is Robin, and in my testing on Sim, I'm very confident going into that tournament, which will be next weekend, so I'll let you guys know how that goes, but, yeah, so just, if you watched to this point, you're the GOAT. I don't know. I don't know why you would just, I've just been schizophrenic ranting, but, I appreciate it a lot, so, yeah, I'm looking forward to a good next season of One Piece, and, yeah, I'll see you guys when I see ya. Peace.